We believe that the world and the universe is like separated into negative and positive. There's an enemy all the time, and we need to hate that enemy. But I do understand that if you are waking up, it can be very confusing, and it can be very painful. What the hell have I been doing to myself? There are a lot of things happening in the world, and it's very easy to get pulled into that sort of drama, right? But I think it's so important that us that are waking up come together, and this channel is about opening the heart, quieting the mind, finding deeper truth of who we are, changing ourselves so that we can change the world. Welcome to this video. Thank you for watching. What I want to talk about today is really just waking up in 2024 and the confusion and the pain and everything that we see in the world. We had the election the other day, right? And we have one side celebrating like crazy and the other side is absolutely in disgust, almost in grief, in hopelessness, thinking that the world is going to end. But the world is not going to end. This mindset is so dualistic that we think that there's a side here that's the enemy. And we have, I don't know how many people voted for one side, the winning side. And they deem all of those people the enemy, right? And we have the media and the news anchors even hating the other side, almost like the other side is like not human, right? Totally dualistic. And I don't know about you, but I'm so tired. It's like, aren't we supposed to be more human-like towards each other, right? We're supposed to cooperate. We are not opponents. We are opposites in a way, but that's fine. I mean, we have humanity in common. We all know what love feels like. We all know what freedom feels like. We're all striving for happiness. Nobody wants to feel bad. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to suffer, right? We all have that in common. But we're living in duality. We believe that the world and the universe is like separated into negative and positive. There's an enemy all the time, and we need to hate that enemy. We need to eliminate that enemy. And it creates, and judge, right? Creates so much tension. We hate, right? Why do we do that to ourselves? Like the other side, like there's two sides even, they don't care about being hated. They just care about whatever, right? We don't see the other person suffering. We don't see that the other person is judging us. So we carry that for ourselves. We walk around and carry judgment for the other side. No matter if you were voting for whatever side you were voting for, if you were an American, you weren't even voting. But you probably had like a favorite candidate or something. Or not. That's totally okay. But still, it keeps us in duality. It keeps us stuck in this never-ending thought pattern of that we need to eliminate something, or that the other side is stupid, or we need to judge them, right? And I am right and you are wrong, and I need to convince you why my view of reality is more accurate than yours, right? Like kindergarten, not even that. It's so counterproductive to what we're trying to do, right? And so learning to not give up our power to anyone, learning to take the power back to ourselves, like I said in the beginning. We want to change ourselves so that we change the world. We want to raise our awareness around ourselves. What does happiness feel like for me? What is meaningful for me in my life, right? And we start pursuing those things instead of arguing about stuff or trying to convince each other why I'm right and you're wrong, and like it's so outdated, right? It's 2024 and more people are waking up, but there are still people that are not waking up, and that's okay. Again, not two sides. Awareness is just doing exactly what it needs to do to evolve. But I do understand that if you are waking up, it can be very confusing and it can be very painful. And the more we become aware, the more we will become aware of everything that is not working for ourselves. Let's say what has been driving us for as long as we can remember, having driving forces that will enforce the ego's beliefs in its own capability to pursue or to find happiness in the future, right? We're striving for validation, we're striving for power, we're striving for fame, we're striving for more money, because we believe that these things will inherently take away the void that we're feeling on the inside. We're always chasing outcomes. We're always chasing something in the future. And when we wake up, we realize that I have been chasing something. I've had this sense of meaningless meaning. Let's say that I've been chasing money or validation, right? And we've been doing that for as long as we can remember. We've been doing that since we were children, really. And so we have had this faked sense of meaning for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years even sometimes. And then waking up, it's like, okay, I have ended up here. I'm not happy, I'm suffering, I'm depressed, I feel meaningless, and I've been chasing this thing, and even if I've got it or not, it's left me with a void sensation. And I've been on this never-ending chase towards something in the future all the time, believing that once I get over there, once I have that relationship, once I have these things, then everything that I have on the inside, this worthlessness or meaninglessness or this sensation that something is always missing, this constant sensation of unease in my body, this will go away when I have attained enough pleasurable outcomes. And waking up, when we do that, and we realize that we've been chasing illusions, we've been chasing the future, believing that the future is better than here in the now. And recognizing that for the first time and seeing that clearly will cause or may cause a lot of grief, a lot of meaninglessness. It's like, what the hell have I been doing? What the hell have I been doing to myself? I've followed this narrative in my mind telling me that whenever I have XYZ, then I will be happy. And I've indulged in all of these things, and I've made myself suffer because I haven't been enough as I am. And I've been chasing something, and I've been perhaps taking advantage of people or situations or things that will make me gain this thing. Like I will be superior somehow when I have attained all these things. I will be better. And we made ourselves suffer. And we might have hurt people in the process. At the expense of us being hurt, feeling like we are not enough, feeling like we are not, like I said, we're lacking something. We're feeling worthless. But when I have that thing in the future, then I will not feel like I'm worthless anymore. I will feel worthy because I've achieved everything that my mind tells me that it's important. I need these things to be worthy. Illusions in the future doesn't exist. It's all here. And when we recognize that, we can learn to see the truth clearly, maybe for the first time, that what is happening here, even if I'm suffering here, even if I'm in deep pain, shame, guilt, grief, fear here, this is what I am supposed to work with. We are learning to work with the energy instead of against the energy. We are learning to work with the present moment. We're learning to work with the pain. We're not working against it. We're not working against the present moment. We're not disagreeing with the present moment. Because that's why we walk around and suffer all the time. We resist what is. That's where suffering comes from. We either have something that we don't want to have. I have this pain and I don't want it. Or we don't have something that we do want to have. Meaning that we're craving something. All the time. And the problem is, if I tie this whole circle with what I said before, with the election, the problem is that we think that this election, it's either going to go my way or not. And then we cause so much crazy suffering to ourselves. Or like joy, right? But it's not going to make us fulfilled. It's not going to give us what we're seeking at all. We're constantly looking forward to the next thing, right? Let's say that your party's on the losing side in this election. Like, oh, but next election, then we will really make a change. It's like we're giving our power away to something else, right? We are looking for our completion in something external. And we say to ourselves that, I don't have any power. Let's just give the external world my power. Or I will try and find my power in the external world. It's not going to work. I'm sad to say, but it's not going to work. And when we recognize that happiness cannot be found in the world, fulfillment, meaning cannot be found in the world, we can pursue things that give us meaning, that's great. But lasting fulfillment and lasting joy, lasting ease, I would say, we're still going to experience pain, of course. Pain is inevitable, it will always be there. But when we learn to look in the right direction of where fulfillment actually is, we will find it. And regardless if we experience pain, regardless if we experience suffering, regardless if we experience resistance, it will not be nearly as bad as it's been in the past, because we will realize that this is happening for me. I'm working with the energy, I'm working with the pain. I'm working with whatever is presenting itself to me in this moment. I'm working with the now. And when we do that, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to gain. I always say that, one of my favorite quotes, and I came up with it myself, you have to, I mean, it's probably been around, I don't know. But we shouldn't do anything. We could, if we want to live a life more of ease, we could have this perspective or this sort of approach to life that there's nothing to win and nothing to lose. I have nothing to win and nothing to lose in anything. I am whole already, regardless if I win something externally or if I lose something externally. I am already inherently whole. I cannot win or I cannot add anything to what I am to make me superior or better or more fulfilled than I already am, more present, more peaceful, whatever. And I cannot lose anything because I'm whole as I am. And that is what it feels like to wake up. But I do understand that it can be confusing. It can be confusing having people around you that is not understanding this, that is still living in this dual type of mindset, that this is bad and this is good and I'm right and you're wrong. And I think it's important that more people come together that are realizing this type of mindset, this awareness that we are all here together. I think it's important that we all sort of come together, us that have started to realize this, us that have started to waking up, not to exclude the other, like there's other, right? Not to exclude that type of worldview, but for them to see that, oh, okay, there's a group of people here and they are not suffering. They seem that they seem to live in ease. They seem to live like they are unbothered by worldly things and events, and they seem like they're at peace with things. Regardless of what happens in life, regardless of what happens in the world or circumstances, or they have established something. I want that, right? We can be like the torchbearers into a brighter future. Because I feel like, I mean, obviously what's happening right now, there are a lot of things happening in the world, and it's very easy to get pulled into that sort of drama, right? But I think it's so important that us that are waking up come together and we can lead the way into a better future. And that's one thing that is driving me the most. To help people recognize that whatever is happening in life has nothing to do with them, and to find a more peaceful way of life that is unburdened by worldly events. And so I'm grateful for you watching. If you made it all the way to the end here, really, I'm very grateful. I have a couple of links in my description. Click them if you're interested in coaching or if you're interested in more material. I have a Patreon as well. Subscribe if you want to, like and comment as well. If this is resonating with you, please comment, because I'm reading all the comments and I really want to hear your life story as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye.